Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Red Tape Podcast. I'm your host, Demerious Nelson. This is brought to you by For the One Media, where we move progressively forward in a conservative way. What's up? Hope all is well. Man, look, I watched a movie last night that I'm going to get into. I'm going to talk about it. Excellent movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. It was an old school movie. I'm going to talk about that. I want to talk about Mr. Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. I think he's doing some good things. And then I just want to talk about the football season, man. It's upon us. Hey, this is the Red Tape Podcast. All right, guys, what's going on? Hey, look, I got a mouthful for you today right out the gate. I know I was like, why is this guy always saying, hey, look, if you don't like where you're at, you don't like the job you're in, go find you a better one, all right? If you're part of a movement and the movement leaves you behind, find a new movement. Stop being bothered. Stop having issues. Stop having problems with the people that decide to take hold of the thing that you started to move forward with it. That's what I have to say about old Cap. He got his money. He should be happy. The people with him shouldn't have nothing bad to say about Jay-Z. Now, I normally don't even like to discuss issues like this because it's just entertainment for me. But there are things bigger. I think Mr. Sean Carter sees that. And some people are upset because he decided to take hold of the situation after Colin Kaepernick just still kneeling and getting his money in Nike commercials. This man decides to do more. So he joins with the NFL. Now, I do have one issue when you tell Travis Scott, hey, look, I'll pay you the amount of money that the Super Bowl going to pay you. And me and my boy Roberto talked about this before. Look, go do the Super Bowl because it's going to, as most people, it's going to help your career flourish. So he did what was best for him, and I'm glad he didn't take Jay-Z's advice because now Jay-Z is teaming up with the NFL. And this man is a businessman, so you got to keep that in mind. And he has helped a lot of people. He has helped a lot of people get out of jail. He's done a lot of different things. I'm not going to be long on this issue. But I do say if you have the opportunity and you're blessed with the resources and you have the connections to deal with it or get in these circles, do something with it. Now, I know his end goal may be to get an NFL team, and that's okay. I think it's great that you have a black owner in the NFL. I think it's important. I think it's important from a business perspective. I know a lot of people do not care about the sports world because they're like, what does this actually change? Well, it brings opportunity. It's just like everybody hates Walmart, but Walmart gives opportunity. Walmart creates jobs. You might not like the tactics, and I don't like the tactics if it's inhumane, anything like that. But you do have to respect that it is helping people. It is employing people. I know a lot of people often they're bothered by big business because they feel like it takes away from the small business. Now, I do believe there has to be a balance between the two because small business needs to exist as well. Because not everybody lives in a big city. Not everybody wants to live in a big city. But everybody has a right to entrepreneurship. And in this instant, Jay-Z doing big things, we all know. But the thing I want to talk about today is, why does it matter to y'all what he decides to do? If he decides to switch sides, why does it matter? It shouldn't, because he's trying to do something positive. And there may be a bigger plan. I don't know the plan. I'm sure there's a bigger plan. This man always moving strategically because he has the resources to. Obviously, you can see it in the amount of money, the things that he has accumulated. I mean, he just reached $1 billion this year by himself for the things that he's done strategically. So instead of bashing the man or whatever the case may be, figure out a way that you could do the same thing. That's how I feel. Figure out a way you can do the same thing. Figure out a way to find your niche and then take that niche. See, the guy was started out rapping. Well, before that, you know what he was doing. But then he became a rapper. I mean, people still know him for being a rapper, but now they know him more for being a businessman. The only reason why I'm even talking about this is because I want you guys to see that just because you start somewhere don't mean that has to define you for the rest of your life. Because you can change. You can have the acumen and the sense to do things different. This guy was doing things that were criminal acts. But then he started rapping. Then he went from rapping to start talking about change. And now he's changing. Now it's important to not forget where you come from so you can stay humble. But it's also important to not hold that guy to what he once was. And then it is okay to change your position if it's going to be effective. It is important to change your position if it's going to help benefit the people. Because a lot of times we can be wrong, but we hold on to that we hold on to it for the sake of not giving in. And that's ignorance. So you can change your stance. And I don't necessarily think this is changing the stance. I think this is just changing the way things are done. Because like I said, there's a better way to do things. There's a better way to make life better. And for him, obviously, he's going to make himself a lot wealthier, and that's okay. But hopefully he can employ people so they can join him in wealth. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I had to say real quick about Mr. Carter. Podcast, Spotify. Just subscribe to it, guys. Wherever you like to subscribe to, whatever platform you use, I'm there. Also, make sure you check us out at www.fortheonemedia.com. Make sure you like it, subscribe to it. Like it and subscribe to it and rate it 5 stars. If it's 5 stars to you, or just don't touch it like most people. They don't rate it at all. They just listen to it because you know how I know? Because I can see who's looking at it. Like the FBI. CIA, I can see what's going on. No, I'm just kidding. I can't see all of what you're doing out there. But let's get back to it, man. So the few points that I have when it comes to Jay-Z, the few points that I have when it comes to business is, you know, you have to understand when there's the right time to strike. And he feel like this is the right time. You know, he didn't step on Colin Kaepernick's toes, but he did the things that he thought could be done to be a voice. And that's what's important. See, there's always going to be a time when your voice needs to be heard, and there's always a time when you shouldn't say anything. But that time is coming when you should speak up. And that moment may be now. It may be later. But when that time comes, be ready for it. Be prepared for it. See, Jay-Z been planning all of his adult life since he rapped. Because he was rapping to be able to make some changes like this, to be able to do more, I'm sure. And as things happen, he became more passionate about it, because that's what happened when you get older. Your passions change. The things that used to didn't bother you, now they bother you. The things that used to bother you don't anymore. You know, when you get older, you don't do much arguing. That's one thing I learned. The older you get, the less arguing you want to do. The less confrontation you want to have. Because like, man, I just want to live. I just want to live. So I like this move because I think it can help people. I think it can help a lot of people. Because there's areas in the country, like L.A., for instance, all up and down the West Coast. All up and down the West Coast where homelessness is struck. And the one way we can lift ourselves up out of this situation is to create jobs, be entrepreneurs ourselves, to be able to help those situations, be able to help those impoverished areas. Obviously, laws have to change as well to help, to assist in changing, but we can do the thing right now to help with the change. But now sometimes you have too much law over your head. There aren't things you can do. There are very little things you can do because you'll be in trouble yourself. So we have to try to figure out a way to help these impoverished areas. And that's the only reason why I bring up Jay-Z, because I think he's on to something with what he's trying to do, partnering with the NFL, because he is from the inner city. He know what it is to come from the hood. And he can know what it is to help lift people from the hood. Now, the question is, do you want to be lifted up? Would you take some assistance when it came your way? When you had an opportunity, what do you do with it? Colin Kaepernick had an opportunity. He sat on kneeling. He got his money. I know he's doing activist work, and that's great. Congratulations to him. But I think what Jay-Z's going to do is going to help more people. Because you have to see bigger and bigger than your situation. Just like Cap. He might not ever play football again. But what are you going to do with the opportunity that you have? Take hold of the movement. Take hold of the tragedy. Take hold of the situations that have hurt you and make it better for someone else. But you got to have the mind for it. And that's what I'm saying today, guys. If you have an opportunity to change something, do it. Like Nike, just do it. I think that's the best quote ever. A lot of time we do a lot of planning. I think we try to do a lot of different things, try to be strategic in how we move it. But at the end of the day, when all the plans are right in front of you, you still got to just do it. Because those plans may not work. They may be a good starting place. But a lot of times, just like this podcast, I'm trying to fill it out. Where's my niche? Where do I best fit? But at the end of the day, getting all the equipment and learning everything, it's still just do it. I still have to go get it done. That's what I think Jay-Z's doing. He's going to get it done. He's making it good for the he's making it better for people. Giving black folks something they never had, and that's NFL ownership. So I think that's a good deal. Now, it's not going to help my pockets out, but it does pave a way for give us something else to think about. So for those kids that may have been like, I never considered being an NFL owner, but because of that, I have a chance. Like I was reading an article about he said the year of the black quarterback. I think it's an excellent article. And it talks about these different things. And it talks about because of the defensive players and as far as the quarterback rushing on the ends, because of the defense, it made the offense have to rethink how they, had the quarterback. You got to have an athletic quarterback now. Can't just step up in the pocket now. Tom Brady, machine gun Brady. But the way of the old guard, now believe me, quarterback, you still have to be in the pocket. But also you have to be able to move because the defense is so athletic and they're so fast. You need a quarterback that can move in those situations. So it gave rise to the athlete. Because at first, people thought the black quarterback was unintelligent, was not able to lead, didn't have what it took to play under center. And then we have a little different, you got your Doug Williams who won the Super Bowl. You got Warren Moon who set all kind of records. And then you have the new wave of the Kyler Murrays and really the Russell Wilson who doing his thing, making that money. And then you got other black quarterbacks. So that's why it's just amazing to see this. It's amazing to think about it. To see where we were and where we are now. I often tell my community especially, like, look, man, you only really had your freedom for about 40 years. And look at what you have accomplished. It's amazing. So now let's come together. Let's go into Chicago. Let's go in all these rundown areas of where we annihilating one another, and let's help change those situations. And I think this is good. This is critical. This is a good move from Jay-Z to get us to think. See, I don't have that platform yet. But if I did, I would say this is to make y'all think. This is to help y'all see the vision. Now some brothers around me that's hungry and they want it, just like Jay-Z wanted. They just don't have the funds yet. But guess what? They're putting themselves in a position by investing where they can, when they can, working hard as they can, and remembering the goal, the visions. And that's what you have to do. Goals, visions, write it down. Then you got to go act it out. It's think of it in terms, y'all all watch movies, just think of it in terms of an actor or actress. They go out there, they get the script, they see the script, they see the plan, but then they have to ad-lib and do things that they see to make it a little better. That's what we got to do in life. You take the script given to you, make the changes to the script because you have that right and the free will, and then when you get an opportunity, you nail it, and you get an Academy Award or that good money. Or you make your community and you change, you rise it up. Like going to that event, the For the Cliff event in South Dallas, raising the community up. That's what it's about. Raise that community up. I don't even know why I said that, but that's what we got to do. We got to get that community up. And that's what I got to say about that, guys. Hey, moving forward, and y'all, but first, make sure y'all subscribe to the Red Tape Podcast, man, because we booming over here. We're growing rapidly, and I want you to be a part of it. I want y'all to be a part of it because we're moving progressively forward in a conservative way. Always, baby, the Red Tape Podcast. All right, man, I'm going to talk about, I watched a few old movies. I typed in Denzel's name this weekend. Well, actually yesterday or Sunday night. And it made me think about, say, man, let me see some good Denzel. Let's see him in characters. Now, I never watched. So I watched Devil in the Blue Dress. I think that's the name of it. Excellent movie. But it was funny. It was a lot of action, a lot of things going on. But, I mean, it was hilarious to me because they had Don Cheadle in it. And I know it in one part, if you've never seen it, I wish I could play it right now. But he had one part in there. Denzel told him, hey, man, they had this guy say, hey, just hold him, man. I'm going to be right back. And then Denzel went in the house, started, towards the end, he started getting shot at. And then this guy was about to shoot at him, and then Don Cheadle walks in the door and pow, pow, hit the two guys, killed both of them. Then Denzel said, hey, where's the guy that's left in the vehicle? He said, he's still out there. So they walked back outside. The dude laid down dead. He said, man, I thought you watched him. He said, man, I thought I said don't shoot him. He said, man, I didn't shoot him. I just choked him out. And he choked him out and he died. And I know y'all like, why is that funny? But the funny part is, how can I help you and watch him too? So instead of just bringing the guy in, he said he just go ahead and kill him. But he didn't shoot him. And that's what the instructions that was given to him, not to shoot him. So that was entertaining, watch Ricochet from Denzel. And then I switched it up to Nicolas Cage. I know y'all, Nicolas Cage now is, I don't know what part of the world he lives in his mind. But that old Nicolas Cage of the 90s, man, I had to watch Snake Eyes. And Snake Eyes was a well thought out movie, well written to me. And, just giving the different perspectives. It's like the movie Vantage Point, just getting different perspectives, thinking about the whole situation in the midst of the fight, when the real fight was, in the mental, the mentality, changing that. I thought that was amazing. I watched those movies this weekend, man. I thought, hey, if you haven't seen Ricochet from Denzel, if you haven't seen Devil in the Blue Dress, and if you haven't seen Snake Eyes before by Nicolas Cage, man, check it out. Check it out. I think it's good stuff. Real good stuff. But anyway, guys, that's what I have for today, man. That's what I have for right now. I'm going to be back later, better than ever. Hey, remember, if you have any good topics, you have any things you want to talk about, any questions you want to ask, hey, check us out and email me at fortheonemedia@gmail.com. fortheonemedia@gmail.com. Hey, this is Demerious Nelson. It's the Red Tape Podcast. Hey, y'all stay tuned, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace.